Okay, so here we are with the lesson number 2. Let's begin immediately. This lesson will be about articles. This is the lesson number 2. Here it is, on the top of class 101. You can see it here. Okay, articles, then in Italian spell articoli. And we have two types of articles. We have the determinative. So articoli determinativi, that is what is in English, the cat. This is the determinative article. And then we have the indeterminative articles. Indeterminativi. So we have the articoli determinativi, that is the, e articoli indeterminativi, that in English is a cat. You see, it's the same in English. You have two kinds of articles, determinative and indeterminative. We're going to study the determinative, this one, and then the second one. We're also going to study i numeri, numbers in Italian, ok? Articoli determinativi. Articoli determinativi that basically are the one that okay? Those articles are called determinative because they determinate an object. It works the same in Italian and in English, but very fast, just to review the difference. If you see the cat is different than to see a cat. It's different. What is the difference? This one is determinative, this one is indeterminative. What is the difference? The difference is that this one determinate the object. So if I tell you, I want that cat, it means that I want exactly that cat. I don't want another one. There is only one cat in the world that I want, because this article called determinative makes it determinate. If instead I use the indeterminative article, so this one, and I tell you I want a cat, it means that the object, the cat, is not determinate. I want that cat, but another cat is okay. So this is called indeterminative article because you want one object, but it's not important which one. Every cat in the world that you give me will be alright. Instead, with the determinative articles, the object is determinate. I want only that cat. There is only one in the world. This is the difference, and let's begin. Okay, so articoli. Let's start by drawing my cross that you all know at this point. Here we're gonna have masculine singular. Here we are going to have feminine singular. Here we're going to have masculine plural. And here we're going to have feminine plural. Okay? So now about the articles, let's write the most common masculine singular article, that is il. Okay? Most common feminine singular article, that is la. Masculine plural I. Feminine plural le. Let's start by writing a word. For example, this word that you know means apple. Mela. Okay. You watch at the end. First things first, to choose the right article, watch at the last letter. Is a. So you have to identify this noun in which group it is in this group. Why you have to identify the group? Because you have to identify the gender and number of the noun in order to match it with the right gender and number of the article. So you know it's feminine singular, is in this corner, you know. So here, feminine singular is the article la. Is the right article. La, mela. Sorry, I put it too close. Okay? Let's go with another word. Let's say gallo. Okay, gallo is a rooster. Okay, let's also write that is a rooster just in case my pronunciation is not. Okay, this is what gallo is. Mela instead is the echo. Now let's see a gallo. It ends with O. So the most common pattern, that is this one, you see, ending in O, you know is masculine singular. So go in the masculine singular corner of your article, you find the article ill. And in fact, this is the right article. So if you proceed this way, it's very technical. If you proceed this way, you cannot do wrong. Articles are complicated because there are many more. There are not only 4. I start with 4 because I wanna go gradually so you learn. To learn the grammar very well is the best way to learn very well a language. Also, you are lucky because the Italian pronunciation is not difficult like the English pronunciation. I can tell you, I learned English when I was an adult, and wow, the pronunciation of English is just crazy. There are no rules. Okay, so now let's see. We saw this word, lamela, is feminine singular. Let's make it plural. You know how to make it plural, right? You gotta go in the feminine plural of the same pattern. So the plural of mela is mele. Mele. So the feminine plural article is le mele. Very good. Now, gallo, let's make it plural. Here, so the masculine plural of gallo is galli. You substitute the O with an I. So what is the masculine plural article? Here it is I galli. Excellent. Okay, so now let's go with another word, for example, that belong to the second pattern. We have, for example, elefante. Okay, so now let's go with a word that belongs to the second pattern of noun, this one. Cane, okay, cane. And let's go with another word, for example, stazione, ending in E. We are in the second pattern of noun, stazione. Okay, this is the second pattern. You see, in this second pattern of noun, this masculine singular is equal of the feminine singular. So you may ask, how you know when is one masculine, one feminine? There is no specific rule. You need to know the word. But in general, all the words that end in sione are feminine. All the words that ending in e but not in sione are masculine. Okay? So, of the word ending in e, when they end in sione, are feminine. When they end in e, but they don't have the end in sione, are masculine. It's no rule, it's a trick, so it doesn't work 100%, but it works 90 or 95% of the cases, so it's a good trick. So let's see cane. Here we have the word cane, that means dog. So these belong to this second pattern. We know is masculine because the trick that I just told you. And because it's masculine singular, we know it's masculine singular, the masculine singular article is il. So it will be il cane. Stazione, we know is feminine because I told you the trick ending in zione. Feminine singular article is la, so it will be la stazione. Every time you choose the article, at least in the beginning, you have to analyze the word because you need to understand the gender and number of the word. And in order to understand the gender of the number of the word, you have to look at the pattern. Okay, there are 4. Those 2 are not very common. So just forget about it. Just focus on the first 2. And this is in the first lesson, so you can go to watch the first lesson. Now let's make them plural. How you make them plural here? You go down the arrow. Okay, so basically to make them plural in both, you have to substitute the e with the I. Okay, so let's go ahead, make them plural. So cane, plural will be cani. This is the way you make it plural, substitute the e with the I. And stazione, plural will be stazioni. Unfortunately, it's not like in English that you just add an S to make it plural. In Italian, you have to do it this way. Okay, so now this we know that is masculine plural belong to the second pattern. So the article masculine plural is this one, I cani. Perfect. Instead, now we know that this word is feminine plural, and the feminine plural article is le stazioni. Okay, so here we are. I change a little bit because I have to add other articles. I just show you the basic: il, la, I, and le. Unfortunately, there are other articles. There is a contraction of the articles. Every time you have a word in Italian that starts with a vowel, you have to use a contraction. Let's see immediately what I mean with an example. Okay, let's say the word, for example, atomo. Okay? Atomo is an atom in chemistry. And for example, let's say anima. Wow, we go on the spirituality because anima means soul. Anima is soul. This is, we go in the spirituality today. Atomo instead, we stay in science. Atom is an atom, particle of matter. Okay, so this word, you know, is masculine singular because end in O. This is feminine singular because end with the letter A. And I'm pronunciating the letter in the Italian way, not in the English way, okay? So you know is this pattern the most important, O masculine singular, A feminine singular. Anyway, you can use the masculine singular article il atomo. That is not correct. Why? Because this word and start with a vowel. So you need to use the contraction of the article, that is L'. Basically, here is like another article, is L', but in reality is the same article with a contraction. In front of a word ending with a vowel, you have to use the contraction, L'. Same for anima. You cannot use la anima. For phonetical reason, you see, it wouldn't sound well to say la anima. So, because the word starts with vowels, you need to use the contraction. So, we learn something else in Italian. When a noun, masculine or feminine, start with a vowel, you have to use the contraction. Here we have, it's like another article, but just for you to know, in reality, is the same feminine article that got a contraction because in front of a word starting with a vowel, you use this article. Now let's make those words plural and see which articles you're gonna use. I remind you that this is the pattern. Okay, plural of atomo, it will be atomi, right? And plural of anima will be anime, okay? Anime. Now, here, the article, there is another masculine article that is gli. Every time the word, the masculine plural, start with a vowel, you have to use gli. Gli atomi. Instead, so here you have two articles. You may use this one or you may use this one. And now I give you the rules so you know when to use all of them. Here instead you have only one article. So you are pretty lucky when you use the feminine singular, you always use le, no matter what. So, sorry, feminine plural. When the word is feminine plural, no matter what, you always use le. Okay, so now let's write the last article that we have, that is lo. These make everything complicated. Okay, now your articles are complete. Means that you have all the articles. You have the article il, l'apostrophe, and lo. 3 masculine singular articles. You have 2 feminine singular articles. They are la e l'apostrophe. 2 masculine plural and 1 feminine plural. So feminine plural is pretty easy. When you have a noun feminine plural, no matter to which pattern it belongs, is always le. Okay, so let's see masculine singular. First of all, you use l'apostrophe in front of vowel. So masculine singular word starting with vowel. You use l'apostrophe the same here in front of feminine singular words starting with vowel. Okay, here we go. This is the most complicated, unfortunately. Lo is the most complicated. You use this in front of all masculine singular word. Start with S plus consonant. So every time you have S plus consonant, you use lo. You use lo in front of masculine singular words starting with Z, and there are also another letter, is Y, even if it's in Italian, it's pretty rare. Okay? Okay, gli masculine plural word starting with a vowel. Masculine plural word starting with the S plus consonant. Masculine plural word starting with Z, and masculine plural word starting with Y. And here you have it. Here there are all the rules. So let's start, do some exercise. So I remind you that you have another video with all the exercise relative to this lesson. So just in case, go to watch it. And let's do some example. For example, let's write this word, zaino. And in O, so you know it's masculine singular, what that means. It means back. Backpack. Okay? And I don't know if I spell it correctly, but whatever. It means backpack. And basically, and in O, but it starts with a Z. So basically, when you choose the article, you have to follow some rules. First of all, you have to understand the gender and number, and you go masculine singular, so you go in this one. Here you have 3, and you go for exclusion. You analyze the first one. You say, does it start with S plus consonant? No. Does it start with Z? Yes. So this is the right article. If you have the same word but plural, for example, zaini, zaini is the same word but plural because you hear O became E. and you make masculine singular become masculine plural. So first thing you have to understand gender and number. You know is masculine plural. So go in this part of the quadrant of the article. Don't waste your time with the other three, okay? After you know is masculine plural, go immediately in this one so you don't waste time with the wrong one. Then you watch inside. We start with the one on the right and you say, you go for exclusion. Does it start with vowel? No. Does it start with S plus consonant? No. Does it start with Z? Yes. So this is the right article, gli. But watch the exercise that I explain you that very, very well. So let's, for example, so now let's write another word. For example, let's write scoiattolo. First operation, understand the gender and number of the word. Look at the last letter, O. You know that O is here in the most common of the pattern and it means it's masculine singular because it ends in O. So now you go in the right corner, the corner of the masculine singular. You don't waste your time with the other ones. Okay, and then you start with the first. You say, does this word start with S plus consonant? Yes, you got it. The right article is lo. Lo scoiattolo. And you are wondering what that means. It means squirrel. That's what scoiattolo means. So now let's make it plural. Let's make it plural, and you go here, you know, make it plural. You have basically to substitute the O with the I. Scoiattoli, that means squirrels. So you know now is masculine plural. So you go in the right corner of the masculine plural, and you go here. You start. You say, does it start with vowel? No. Does it start with S plus consonant? Yes. So the right article is gli scoiattoli. Let's write elefante. Start with A, we know is masculine singular, so you go in the right pattern of masculine singular. And you analyze this. So you start here and you say, does it start with S plus consonant? No. Does it start with Z? No. Does it start with Y? No. Does it start with vowel? Yes, that's the right one. L'elefante. So now, elefante means elephant. We make it plural. We saw that was that pattern, so we have to substitute the A with an E. Make it plural. It became elefanti. Okay? So we know it's masculine plural, so we go in the right corner of masculine plural and we start from here. And we go by exclusion. Does it start with vowel? Yes. So the right article is gli elefanti. This is the way you have to work in order to do it right. So now let's go with articoli indeterminativi. And we saw that articoli indeterminativi are a and an in English. Okay, so here we are writing the article. Masculine singular article, we have two. Un and we have uno and un. We have two. One and two. Then a feminine singular, we have una and un apostrophe. Masculine plural and feminine plural. The plural doesn't exist. Why? Because for definition, uno represent, this article represent the number one, so there is no plural. but we can make the plural by translating that the words some, few. That it will be masculine plural will be alcuni, and feminine plural will be alcune. That's the way. Because formally the plural of the indeterminative article doesn't exist. Because what is the plural of uno? Of one? What is the plural of one? Two, three? One, for definition, is only singular, is one. That's the reason why it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in English as well, just in case you didn't know. Okay, so un apostrophe is in front of feminine singular word starting with vowel. Okay. And una in front of all the feminine singular word that don't start with vowel for exclusion. Here we have uno is in front of masculine singular word start with S plus consonant. Masculine singular word start with Z, masculine singular word start with Y. And these go for exclusion. What that means for exclusion? It means that anything that is not here is going to be here. That means for exclusion. Let's see one word. Cane. Cane, we already know what it means dog, right? We know that because it's in this group that is masculine singular, so we need to go here to pick up the right article. Let's start with this one, okay? And we analyze, we say, does cane start with S plus consonant? No. Does cane start with Z? No. That cane start with Y? No. So for exclusion, it gotta be this. In fact, the right article is un cane. Then let's use another word. Let's use elefante. 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 It belongs to the second pattern. He's here. He's masculine singular. So we have to go here again. Let's analyze. Does cane start with S plus consonant? No. Sorry, does elefante start with S plus consonant? No. Start with Z? No. Start with Y? No. Does it start? So for exclusion, because it doesn't start with anything that is here where there is uno, doesn't start with S plus consonant, doesn't start with Z, doesn't start with Y, so we eliminate all of that. We know that this is the right one, and is un elefante. Is the right article. So let's go with amica. Amica means girlfriend, friend of feminine, girlfriend. Okay, so ending in a, we know we have to go here where there is feminine singular. So let's go starting with this one. Is amica starting with a vowel? Yes, so this is the right one. Un apostrophe amica. Notice that the apostrophe is only in front of a feminine word. Is only here the apostrophe. This one doesn't have the apostrophe. It's a very silly rules, but in Italian, the indeterminative articles, you got the apostrophe only when it's feminine, never when it's masculine. So let's do a couple of more examples, but you have to work for exclusion. That's and I will show you the procedure very well in the exercise. Let's write, for example, città. Okay, let's use this pattern. That even if it is rare, you almost never use it, but let's use this one. So let's say that città is a city. It means a town. It means city. Okay. Is feminine because all the words in this group are feminine with the exclusion of two that are papà e podestà, but is explained in the lesson. So città, you know, is feminine singular, so you gotta go here, okay? And you start with this one, the one that is not the exception, the other one. So you ask, does città start with vowel? No. So for exclusion, you choose the other one, una città. Okay, so now we go to do the number, and then we finish the lesson. And you know, if things are not clear, go to do the exercise relative to this lesson, because this is the way to understand everything very well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Say very well, 6, because Italian is the language of the vowels. Usually Americans say se. It's not, it's 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, oh, long word, 14, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17, 18, 19, let me delete this stuff. This is, we can write 19, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 90, oops, and this is 100. So, after me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Now, if you want to write the number 32, you have to write in Italian, you have to write 30 like you do in English, because 30 means 30, and then you add the number 2. So 32. If you want to write the number 45, is the same. You say 40, because 40 means 40, and then you add the number 5, 5, 45. If you want to write the number, for example, this is the number 100, that means 100, okay? So you want to say this number is 100, 150, because 50 is 50, we saw it before. So 150, you read before 100 and then the 50 that is after. Let's say that you want to read this number in Italian. This sound 300, 350. Why? Because it's 350. In English, you say the same. Think in English. In English is 350. So you translate 3, 100, 100, and then 50. The number 100 in Italian, the number, this number doesn't have plural. So in English, you say, this is in English will be 100. This is in English will be 200. In Italian, instead, this is 100. And this is 200. Of course, you put the 2 in front, but here you don't make it plural. You see, you don't make plural the last part. Different than in English, that will be 100, 100, 200, you put it plural. 300, you add the S, you make it plural. No, in Italian, you just add the, for example, 325, okay? Is 300, 300. This 100 doesn't have the plural. It doesn't matter if it's 100 or 500 or 900. It's always stay 100. So 300 and then the number 20, 25, 20, 325. Then we have this number 1000, then in Italian is 1000, and it has an irregular plural, okay? So this number 1000 in Italian is 1000. You don't put 1 here, you just say 1000. This, it will be 2000, irregular plural. Sorry. 2000, okay? 1000, irregular. The plural is irregular. So 100, 100 does not have the plural. You keep it always 100. Instead, 1000 has an irregular plural. Singular is 1000, plural is 1000. Let's write another one. Let's write 4,000 is 4 because you have the number 4 here. So it will be 4 mila because it's only one word, of course, because the plural is irregular. Let's say 75,250, but then there will be all the other video of the exercise about that. So you start to say 75. 75 in Italian is 70 is 70. You do like in English basically 75. 70, that is 70 because 70 is 70. 70, then 5. 75. Then here is 1,000, 75,000, so it's plural, you add mila. 75.000. Then here is hundreds. 75.200, because singular or plural is always 100, we saw that it doesn't change. 75.200 and the last part is 50. 75.250. Anyway, look at the exercise for this lesson. Remember, it's very important to do the exercise because so you fix the lesson very well in your mind. And see you soon. Ciao!